What's up, YouTube? So, I wanted to come through for a moment and just talk about why I talk about colorism. Just kind of give you a bit of a backstory, you know, a bit of an origin story of why, kind of like why I, make colorism videos. Just in case you may not know, just in case perhaps you're curious. I'll say that probably my first YouTube colorism videos were more so like response videos to a few videos that the YouTuber Chrissy did. And I was just giving my perspective on some things that she talked about. Um, and you know, honestly, I think she probably may have thought that I don't know, she may have thought that I might have been like a troll, perhaps. Not, I think just because she's so used to people trolling her through videos. So she probably may have thought I was a troll or, was arguing against what she's saying. You know. And as well, I want to help continue and perpetuate conversation about colorism, especially colorism relating to brown skin and dark skin black women, and as well just honestly dark brown skin and dark skin people in general, and just the community, because I do believe that colorism does affect everyone, all segments of the community, just in different ways. Usually when it comes to the light skinned people, it tends to affect their um, sense of identity. When it comes to dark skinned people, it tends to affect their self esteem. So, on one hand, it's like you're not black enough, and then on the other hand, you're too black and you're getting, disparaging comments about that. So, it's like, can you really win? You know, Also, I noticed like when these colorism conversations come up, like in the mainstream media, especially, um, oftentimes I didn't really see a light-skinned male's perspective on this. At times, I didn't even see a male's perspective on this. The thing is, it's like oftentimes it's just when it comes to colorism conversations, it usually involves the females, like the dark-skinned female, the light-skinned female. And then if they do involve males, it's usually just dark-skinned men. They're not trying to get it doesn't seem like the light-skinned male's perspective is, really cared about, and I think it should be, because I think it is an interesting perspective. At least I know I got a few people who kind of may think it's an interesting perspective, at least about, when it comes to what I talk about. And what I pick up on, from, you know, my position, within the community. And sometimes it's good not to be a part of the conversation, in some ways, because it's like, okay, no one's blaming you, right? Which is good, because a lot of times when these colorism conversations come up, usually light-skinned dudes aren't being blamed for colorism, which is good, you know. We just staying in our own lane, not really perpetuating any type of negativity in the community in regards to colorism, right? You know. But on the other hand, I think that if we want to really, you know, solve the problem of colorism, address and solve the problem, we got to have, like, not just the females, but the males present too. Because I do feel like that is a factor that is overlooked. The males in general, but especially the light-skinned males, right? Yeah. Another reason is oftentimes I feel like people don't tend to talk about the topics that I talk about, right? Like, and not, don't, get it twisted like I'm just, um, just pat myself on the back so much, like I'm just so awesome or anything like that. But I will say that I think I tend to touch on topics that oftentimes are overlooked or not taken into account or not noticed, you know, and, you know, as well, I think my perspective is, I think, again, not trying to pat myself on the back, but I think what like what I talk about in the videos that I make tend to not be something that you can find from every other YouTuber who talks about colorism. You know? As well, a couple of YouTubers have actually brought that up to me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the feedback, the positive feedback on that. And, as well, I do like interacting with you guys, getting your perspectives, your experiences, your points of views, just hearing how, what you guys think of certain topics. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I never really thought about it like that. It's like sometimes um, I get something from you, sometimes you get something from me, sometimes we get something from each other, you know, and that is great. That is wonderful, you know, to have that dialogue and interaction where, you're really, you know, gaining something, you know, looking at something from a different perspective. Yeah. And also, part of the reason why I do colorism videos is because I do think that, it's like one YouTuber put it, who used to do colorism. Shout out to Tatiana Mercedes. But you gotta do, I'm doing my light skin community service. All right. Because sometimes it's like, oh, how it is when it comes to like racism and white people, and they're like, oh, I'm not racist, like I don't do that. But then you're like, you feel like that if they're not racist, then they should speak up about when things happen, right, that are racist, right? And it's kind of like that. I do feel like, I kind of, well, I won't say that I expect that from white people, but I feel like that's what they should do. And I kind of feel like it's the same in this situation. You know, um, it's because a lot of people be like, they're not colorists. you know, let them tell it. They're not colorists, and everybody's just saying like they're not colorists, right? But when colorist things come up, how do people really react to them? What do people really do about it? How do these same people really react? You know, a lot of times it's like a indifference to colorism. You know, and I will admit that sometimes these conversations can be difficult, and sometimes, I've noticed like the deeper that I've gone with colorism, it's just the more that the more fucked upness it be, like the more fucked up it becomes, the more, you know, you clock how fucked up it is, you know, the more you notice the fucked up of the fucked upness of it all, you know. And it's, just sad because it's like, dang, this is how we treat each other, our own people. This is how we do each other, you know. Yeah. This is what we think of each other, and it's just oftentimes goes unchallenged. goes unchecked, because we do live in a culture and just a society of where oftentimes when you do challenge something, there's pushback to it, right? Like when you challenge racism, there's pushback to that. Um, I keep going and keep pushing forward for, the brown skinned, dark skinned people, especially the females, although this is a bit of a sidebar, but I just want to kind of throw this out there to the brown skin and dark skinned men. If you have a problem, with the conversation of colorism, particularly my videos and what I do, kind of just want, you to ask yourself why that is. Personally, I think if you do have love and care about the well-being of your female counterpart, then I don't think you should have much of an issue with the videos that I do. And as well, I think, you know, you would be happy, or you should be happy to see someone, trying to help and doing right by, you know, your female counterpart. Because you may not think it, but it's true. It's like in a roundabout way, this traces back to you. Because if people are doing right by your female counterpart, then ultimately in a roundabout way, they're doing right by you. If you care and have love and concern for your female counterpart. Yeah. But I would like you to think about it in another way. Say if I was doing the opposite. Say if I was making videos that were just really disparaging, like some other YouTubers do. I ain't gonna name no names. Very disparaging towards, black women, but especially brown skinned, dark skinned black women. Imagine that. Imagine me just making just video after video disparaging brown skinned, dark skinned women. How would that make you feel? As a brown skinned, dark skinned man, my videos would just be specifically geared toward brown skinned, dark skinned women. I wouldn't come for the men, just the women. How would that make you feel? Would that be cool with you? I mean, it's not you, right? Or would you take issues with that, even though it isn't directed specifically toward you? And I feel like within this colorism conversation, that needs to be put out on the table, and that question needs to be asked. And I think we all need to kind of know what that answer is. But I'll bring this video to a close, and thank you very much for watching. But before I go, I just wanted to pose a couple of questions, a couple of more questions, I guess. Where does your interest in colorism come from? Is it because of your, feel like it may directly affect you? It may affect someone that you know, maybe like a loved one. Also for the people out there who, watch my videos more or less on a regular basis, why is that? What kind of keeps you interested in coming back? As well, even to like the hater fans, like the low-key hater fan trolls. Because sometimes I notice, you guys, for some reason, I have less than 2,000 subscribers. I don't really think you're getting much from trolling me. Do you hate watch my videos? If so, how come? Um, And as well, if you got a legitimate beef, speak your piece. Again, trolling, no. But if you actually have something, you know, some real shit to kind of clear up, then let me know. But thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. You know, please leave your comments. As well, feel free to send me an email. Yeah, feel free to email me. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.